tagged you in it. So it should go on your page too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that how that works? My sister was asking me. I said, you know what, Lisa, if we can't figure it out, I'll send it to you.
And if you're on your phone, you should be able to, where your phone at?
Right here.
Oh, you should be able to share it.
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah, you should be able to, I think you can share it live. Because I do this for like a minute. Let everybody start coming in. Kelly's normally the first person on here.
Kelly with an E.
Kelly with the E is normally the first person on here.
Okay, I see it.
Do you see us live?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you go share.
I was trying to.
You should maybe share it just to your page.
Oh.
Yeah, just share it so then they can.
Do I need to write something there?
I would do something. You could say live now on the lab or something like that. As I'm getting older, I have been listening to more R&B.
Really?
Yeah, because you know, girl, I'm on my ratchet music.
I know.
I do my best P. I do Biscuit. I do all that when I'm getting drinks. And now I'm like India, I read Erica about that. I'm like, what is going on with me? And I said, Heifer, you almost 50.
Mm-hmm.
So it changes.
It does. It does. I think it's because for me anyway, like your tolerance changes.
Girl,
So
you
like
have the
where
hot
I used to,
flash.
yes, honey.
We're
It's starting off wrong.
Yeah. Girl, I cut the air down.
I saw you turn it down. It doesn't matter.
Oh my God. Oh, we got to talk about that. Oh my God.
Oh,
That is so crazy.
I know. That's why I was like, I don't.
You need a napkin or anything?
Yeah. Please.
Brigette, I mean, girl, you is sweating.
I know.
It come on like that.
Yes. And you know, I'm sitting here. I have not moved.
You have
I'm
not
doing
moved. You have.
anything.
Oh, they in here early. Okay, y'all come in here early.
Oh, they see me sweating.
That honey, she is sweating, honey. Life after 50.
It's real, honey. It's real.
Alexa, turn off. Oh my God, y'all come here. We was just having real girl talk. Oh, my friend just broke out to hot flash. Girl, your body is hot to touch. Shut up. I cannot wait to ask you something.
People think it's like a figure. I used to think it was like a term like hot flash.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's really
It's
hot.
a hot.
and it's
And it
in a
flash.
flash. Yes.
Oh my God.
It
oh
is
wow.
real.
That is so
It is
crazy.
real. It is
Hey
real.
Kelly, I told her Kelly
with an E. Hey, Kelly with
gonna
an E.
be one of the first people on here. She is a faithful member of the lab, honey. I got her on my calendar to bless her in November for her birthday. Hey,
love
Sister
it.
Karen. Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to the lab. Oh my God, now I've been out of pocket for a couple of weeks, but I went on a cruise with my daughter Mackenzie. We went on the Royal Caribbean, and oh my God, it was so much fun. And you know I missed you all. I can't wait to post about that later, but just been trying to get back into the groove, honey. After vacation, it's hard. I'm like, Lord, why can't I just do this every day? I want to retire at 48. I don't want to work to 60 or something. I can't do it. I got to retire. So,
That's right.
good morning, you all. It is fall. Hey, Sister Karen. It is fall. And I mean, I cannot believe it is the end of the month. It is September 27th already. She said, hey, Bridget, it's been a long time.
Yes.
That's Kelly. It is the end of September. It's about to be October. I think we're now like 89 days to Christmas.
Yeah, it's less than that.
Is it less than
Yeah, because
that?
I heard them say 90 the other
Oh,
day.
did they? Oh, my
so,
God.
Yeah.
Well, it's a day to Christmas. It's gonna be Christmas before you know it. So I always start off with a quick prayer. So Lord, we just thank you. We thank you for another Saturday. We thank you for Sister Brigette that is here today. And Lord, we ask you to bless her hot flashes. Bless her, Lord. Heal her from that. We just thank you for everyone that's going to tune in. We hope everyone gets something that they can apply to their life. And we just thank you for continuing to bless the lab. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
So, I always start off the lab by giving people their flowers. Mm-hmm. And when I thought about your flowers, I said, what kind of flowers can I give Brigette? I mean, we go back so many years.
I know. Oh my
I
gosh.
can't even remember. We go back so many years, but I just remember you have just always been the same, even through all my foolishness. And she done seen it all, y'all. I have. She done seen a lot.
She seen mine.
Right. But you have never judged me. You have always loved me. You have always been a voice of reason. I think you are a friend that's tell me the truth. You let me know when I'm right. You let me know when I'm wrong.
Yes.
She taught me to be long suffering. Because, you know, my patience was not good. Until she would say, okay, now, enough is enough. But she'd be like, well, no, Brand, you can't give up on people. And I'd be looking at her like, girl, but. So I just thank you for always just being you, for your view on people, on life, because I haven't always been that, but I'm doing better. I'm doing better. Yes, I'm doing better. So I just want to give you your flowers.
Thank you, sister.
And this baby, well, you ain't hot no more. That is so. This is crazy. So you all, this is Coach Brigette. She'll share her information at the end. She is a life coach. And she has helped me with my life, and she has coached me through this life, honey, for a long time. And so she attends my sister and brother-in-law's church, but she is most definitely family now. And when I thought life after 50, because I'm getting there, I'll be 49 in November, and certain things have just been going on with my body, and I'm like, Bridget, this, and girl, this happened. I'm like, girl, I never did everything. And then I'm like, girl, this is a hot mess. This is who I call. And I talk to them. I get all my girl advice. Sinful and not sinful. In the book and not in the book advice. I get that from Bridget. So good morning, Bridget. How are you doing?
I am great. And I just want to give Brandy her flowers because I don't know if you remember this, but I told you this a long, long time ago.
Sure.
But when I was going through my first divorce, and I was like, when I tell you my self-esteem was like in the toilet.
Jesus.
And one of the things, Brandy was actually going through a divorce.
Oh, mercy.
So,
one of them.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. This is like when I first met Brandy. But she would always come to church. When she would come to visit, she always would be just looking so nice. And for some reason, I just fixated on your shoes.
Oh,
Because for some reason, when I was feeling low, I would never wear heels. I can't wear heels now, but at that time I could. But I would not because I just felt like I just didn't want to dress up. I didn't want to, you know. And you always would come in there and you would always be looking cute. You had on your heels. And I was like, you know what? She's going through, but she doesn't look like, I looked like what I was going through.
Right.
Like, I was a hot mess.
Yeah,
I look back at pictures sometimes
oh my God.
I was just so dry.
Me too. I see some of our old pictures like, Jesus.
But when I tell you, she presented herself like a person that was walking through her struggle instead of allowing her struggle to walk all over her. And so I just started like admiring her and like watching her. I was like, she's younger than me. She's got young children. If she can go through this situation and hold her head up, I can too. And so I'm just always loved you. And I still remember that. That would have to be,
girl,
that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was years ago.
That was so long ago. But I'll never forget that.
Thank you. Well, now I don't wear heels no more.
I know. Life after 50.
Girl, I used to grocery shop in heels. Hey, Red, I see you. Good morning, beautiful. Hey, Daryl, good morning. I used to grocery shop in heels. I went on my doctor's appointment. Oh, I could sleep in heels.
I remember.
Now, I try to find them a little shorter. I wear them every now and again. And I gotta tell you, I got a date Friday. I tell you about it. So I probably wasn't. Well, let me say this. He told me he'll let me know later on during the week the attire. So I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even know what I'm doing. So yeah, I'll tell you about that later. But good morning. We are going to be talking life after 50. We got some stuff on paper, but we better talk about these hot flashes first.
We're going to start with that.
Because we was just sitting here talking, listening to music, and then I just noticed you like just sweating.
I was glistening.
Yeah, okay. She was glistening naturally.
Yes.
For people after 50. What is that?
It is, it's a hormonal issue.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that happens to us as women as we get older is we lose estrogen, we lose hormones.
Okay.
So because we don't need to have certain hormones to, have children, so after a certain age, and this is just the way that God made us, after a certain age, your body just doesn't produce hormones that it doesn't need. So when that happens, there's something called the, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, your vasomotor system. And it's all a brain, it's all our brain and our hormones and all that stuff works together. But what happens is it kind of like misfires. And so that's when the hot flashes come.
Wow.
That's when the hot flashes come. Yeah, it's hormones. It's basically, I guess you can call it a hormonal imbalance. But again, it's really not a true imbalance because there are hormones that we don't really need anymore. We don't need that in our bodies necessarily.
And you know what? I don't get them on my face, but I get them on my back. And it's so crazy. Sometimes I'm driving in my car and I'm looking to make sure. I'm like, it's my seat. It's my heater seat. It's my seat. Heater's on. I'm like, what is going on? And then I'll touch my shirt and my shirt will be just wet. And I'll be like, now I can't be doing this. And so I don't get them. My sister Ingrid, she get them on her face, and I'll be like, "Girl, you is sweating." But now here I am. Like I said, I'll be 49 on November 1st, and now it's starting to get me. And it's even when I'm asleep.
Yeah,
I'll wake up sometime, but it's all my back. It's not my face. It's my back. And so I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah, and the thing about menopause, there's a lot of common threads, but even in like some of the Facebook groups and different things that I've joined, like I hear people talk about like they get acne, their hair falls out. I mean, there's so many different, because your hormones control so much. And so there's so many different things that can happen. And for everybody, it's different.
Yeah.
And you really do have to figure out what works for you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I went through the premenopause acne at the beginning of the year.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you remember that? And my face would just broke out to where I didn't even go out in public. I was like, and the doctor had to put me on like 2 pills and a cream to do. And now it got way better. But I was like, I didn't deal with this acne in high school.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like when you're a teenager. That's why kids break out into acne, because it's hormones. Their hormones are shifting. It's just that now they're shifting the other way. So when you go through that as a teenage girl, it's happening because your body's getting ready to start being able to bear children. So, you go through getting your menstrual cycle, your hormones change, you have all these emotional swings, remember all that?
Oh, yeah.
So just think about that at, 40 or 50 years old. It's just happening in the reverse. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Well, honey, I'm over it and I'm just getting started. I'm like, this is for the birds.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you wish more women and men, because men need to understand too about menopause. What is something we all need to understand more about menopause?
Well, I think the biggest thing to understand, and especially for men, I think sometimes men feel like because they don't experience it and it's hard for them to understand, and I get that. But I think one of the things that people have to realize is it is a true hormonal imbalance. It's actually something that's happening in your body. It's not you just in a bad mood.
You just bitch.
Exactly. It's not. It's like a real physiological situation that's happening. It's not just you're in a bad mood or you're having a bad day or you're just hot. We don't want to be hot and then cold in a 5-minute span. We don't want to feel emotions that we don't understand and lash out at the other person around us. So I think the biggest thing that I would say for people, and I'm not just going to say men, I'm not just going to pick on them, for people who have not experienced it, I would say understand first that it is a real physiological issue that's happening in the person. They're not just being moody. Number 2, for the people that are experiencing it, or I would say even more so for women who haven't experienced it yet, I wish somebody had told me to prepare for it. To start working out on a regular basis. To start eating more healthy. To start supplementing. Because when you lose those hormones and when those things shift in your body, you can replace them. And I like to replace them with natural options more so than drugs. There are things that you can do. You can do estrogen creams and different hormonal creams. You can do injections. I tried the hormone replacement cream. I tried that for a little while, and it wasn't so much that I didn't like it. It was just, again, I wanted something more natural.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's the thing that I would say is it's real. So prepare for it. Even if you're not necessarily, if you're in your 40s, make sure that you find some type of physical activity that you enjoy doing and start to do it on a regular basis. For me, I've discovered I absolutely love Pilates.
Yes,
I love it.
Yeah.
I do it and I don't feel like I'm working out. I feel like it's not like a struggle for me to get up and do it. I love getting on my reformer. I love doing my Pilates. I love it.
And you look good.
Thank you.
I just told her, I said, you lost weight, girl.
So if it's dancing, if it's line dancing, if it's walking, I love the fact that Destiny, your niece, she's walking. I hope she continues to do that into her 40s and 50s because that's going to make a big difference. I wish I would have learned that like 10, 15 years ago and started doing something. Find an activity, running, just whatever. Just do something physical and do it, make it a habit, make it a lifestyle. I wish somebody would have told me that.
Yeah. Okay, Lakeisha, we see you on here. Andrea, hey girl, we see y'all. She's saying thank you for having these open conversations. That's what we're here for. Yes, and I tell people now, I wish I had a talk, like you said, younger, asking my mom more questions about my family history. And I know she didn't have to deal with it because she had to have a hysterectomy kind of younger. So some of the things she didn't get to experience. Right. So now, sometimes I would ask my sister Holly, like, do you still have cycles? Is this going on? Is this going on? Because you kind of want to know what's happening to the women ahead of you. Exactly. So then you can kind of have a point of view to what you could experience. Yeah. So you said, well, we have some health practices women over 50 should say. So she just said, stay healthy, stay moving. Yes. I love when everybody always say, move your body. Make sure you move your body. So we're going to jump around here a little bit. And I'm going to say, how has your perspective on love and relationships changed after 50? Help us.
Oh, I don't know how much help I'm going to be able.
Help me, Lord.
But I will say this. I think when we're young, like, when we first start being interested in being having a boyfriend or you got your first crush or whatever, I think a lot of times we're looking at like the physical and we're looking at personalities, like who's the cool guy or who's the guy that kind of has that bad boy streak. We're looking at personalities.
My God, come on, bad boy streak. Done got me here single. And I think as we mature, I think our perspective about what we're looking for and what impresses us changes. It's got to. Yeah, it's got to. It better. If it doesn't, you're going to be in trouble. It has to. It has to. Yeah. So I think for me, like, I look at like a person's character. I look at a person's consistency. Come on. And so like the relationship that I'm in now, like when we first met, it was kind of funny because we would talk on the phone and have these long conversations and talk about things. And then I remember he told me about the second or third time we went out, he was like, and this is how we've always been with each other. We've always been real. He's like, I don't even know if I'm really physically attracted to you. I just know I like being around you. And I love talking to you. And my thing is, and not to be like too personal, but at 40 and 50, like, there ain't too many things that you have not done physically if you wanted to do them. Exactly. So like you're not looking, I mean, you want to be attracted to the person. Obviously you want to be able to look at them. Right. But at least. Yeah, but it's not as important because those are the things that aren't going to matter if when you get sick. Yeah, exactly. If you get sick and that person is coming to your bedside, you don't care what they look like. Exactly. You need help in between. Exactly. Your looks. If you're not modeling, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what kind of car they're driving. Because all that means he got a car note. Exactly. I mean, like, what is that? But when I was in my 20s, oh my gosh, don't approach me if you got a hoopty. That was the beginning and the end of the conversation. Yeah, exactly. Sure. So now, like, things like that just aren't as important. What I want to know is, are you stable enough to have a car? What you said. It's not so much what kind of car you're driving.
But it's like, it's a matter of the stability. Like, what are you doing with your money? Because you can meet somebody that's got a great job and making a whole lot of money, but if all they do is shop and travel and go pop bottles every weekend, like, are they building? Are they saving? Like, what, you know, what are you, like, how does that benefit you that he has a good job?
And you know what? I always say, what good is, okay, you make more money than me, but you're selfish.
Right. Or your character. Exactly.
Your character. So you're selfish. So me being with you is almost me still being single.
Right.
So, and not saying that I'm here for you
in
to
it for
take
the money.
For the money, but it does cost to do things. And for me to do stuff for you to do stuff for me, it does cost. But if you're with somebody that's selfish, or do that tit for tat.
Yeah.
And I just think that comes with immaturity.
Yeah.
I think as you get older, and like you said, now, me knocking on 50, hey, John, hey, Ron, we got the men coming in here. Good morning, men. Good. We teach y'all about our menopause. But, you know, now as I'm getting older, like you said, I'm not going to lie. I had met this guy a few weeks ago, and he texts. I was I'm going to do a post on it. He texts like 90% of the time. Oh. And I let him know, I said, this isn't going to work for me. I said, I want to hear the person I talk to voice at least one time. I understand we're all busy. But if you at home in bed and I'm at home in bed, why are we texting? So, of course, his reply was, wow, I need a more understanding woman. When may the Lord watch between me and you while we're absent from one another.
But this is my thing. What is not understanding about expressing to you a need that I have and how I feel about the way that you're, you know, treating
starting off.
How
you are already. And you know what, Bridget? I promise you, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have said, you know.
Oh,
that.
I know.
I wouldn't have said it. I would have been like, well, okay, I'm going to text, even though because he tall. He got 2 nice cars.
Exactly.
He got a 5-bedroom house. He can fly me out. Like, I would have done that years ago. But then I'm like, no, I know what I want. For one, I know what I'm going to give.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I know what I'm going to give, and then I also know what I want. And everybody keep telling me, as you get older, when you get closer to that 50, you're going to learn how to speak your mind.
Oh, yes.
So tell me about that. I keep hearing, like, when you get to your 50s, you become a new person. What is that?
Yeah, you do. I think it's a combination of wisdom, confidence.
Yes.
And I hate to say it, but it's true. Bad experiences.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. It's just certain things you just don't see yourself putting up with or going through again. And so
I like that.
There are things that we can do to avoid it. And so you just get to the point where you're like, I'm going to avoid that.
Early.
Early, exactly.
Because I told
not
you
6 months from now.
2 years. I told him before, I used to take the red flags and throw them. I would throw them and be like, it's okay. It's going to work out because I'm going to be nice to them and this is going to work. And now, getting closer to this 50, I'm learning how to say here and no further. Yep. And one thing I will say, it causes you to be alone.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And it's okay. It causes you to be home on Friday night watching Netflix by yourself, your phone not ringing. Yeah. But now, I'm like, where I'm at now, I'd rather do that than to be somewhere feeling unsure, feeling like, you know, I'm just being tolerated and not celebrated.
Exactly.
I'm too old. I'm getting too old for that. Yeah.
And the other thing we have to think about is when we're dating, the person, most of the time, the person we're dating is in the same age range as us, right?
Right, we hope.
So just think about it.
Right.
If you're at that point where you know what you want, you know what you like and you don't like, and you know like how you operate, then he is too. Yeah. So if I'm texting 90% of the time, then that's probably your form of contact. That's
your form of communication. Yeah.
And it's people. I mean, obviously, people make adjustments when they get into relationships, and people can make changes. But pretty much, you're who you're gonna be in that relationship. Yes. So that when you see those red flags. If you're in your 20s, like I tell my son now, he's 30, and when he dates somebody. In his last relationship, I'm like, you know, it's going to change. She's going to mature.
She's going to change.
If she wants to. Yes. But when you're dealing with somebody that's 52, 53.
And they do it, girl.
It's probably what they're always going to do.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And I had to realize you are who you are at this age. Unless You really renew your mind, be transformed by the God we serve himself.
And you have to have the desire to do it, because God will not force you to change.
Yes, it is free will. Mm-hmm. John said wisdom and humility takes effect. That's true. Communication, Ken said that's right. Know your worth. You that, and it's not being arrogant or it's just like, you know what? I know I have less days ahead of me.
Exactly.
Than what I have behind me.
Exactly.
And so since I know that, I'm like, God is not going to let me leave this earth not experiencing a healthy relationship. Exactly. I just don't believe it. So I drive to work and I'm like, I ain't dying today because I haven't been loved properly yet. Amen. So that's not going to happen. And I know he loves me properly, but I'm talking about naturally in the flesh.
Exactly. Yeah.
I want to experience
I told you to get a dog.
I don't want no dog. I done had dogs and dogs. I don't want no dogs. So how has your spiritual growth shifted with age?
I think for me, I take it more, I don't know if I would say seriously. I think I'll say this. I think I value having a relationship with God more now than I did when I first started figuring out my spirituality. I remember when I grew up, like my mom taking us to church and you sat there wasn't necessarily like, I didn't really understand it. Okay, to be honest with you. I mean, I knew there was a God. I knew that we were to honor him and we prayed, but I never understood about having a relationship with him. You hadn't experienced him for yourself. Exactly. So like my conversations with God, like I have learned that I can talk to him just like I'm sitting here talking to you. I have learned that he loves me no matter what, like flaws and all. And that was one thing that was really hard for me to understand at first, because it's like, if I do this, God, I know God's like, he's like, oh, I'm so disappointed in you. I'm looking down and I'm like, why did you do that? I'm gonna punish you for that. And then I had to learn that's not who God is. That's not who God is. And the things that we go through, we put ourselves through those things. Now God will test us and he'll put things in our path. But one thing I love about God is he gives us every tool we need to deal with our struggles. It's just up to us to receive them and to say that, Lord, I know that you're going to get me through this. I know you're real. And I know you're not only real, because you can believe God is real, but do you believe he's real in your life in your particular situation? And I think that's what, as I've matured, I think that's what I've learned, the difference between faith and trust, the difference between knowing who God is and having a relationship with God. And it's just like any other relationship. You have to spend time and get to know him and be honest. Because if you're in a relationship with anybody and you're not honest with them, that's not going to be a healthy relationship.
That's a representative.
Exactly.
And that's what happens.
Exactly.
And like you said, knowing who God is, but it's knowing who God is.
Exactly.
I know who God is, but when I know, I've seen him for myself show up. I know he's able. I know he will. And not because I hear what somebody else say. It's because I know for a shadow of death, I could be dead today, but I know he spared my life. I know this. I know he can do it, but no, he's allowed me to experience something to where I know. So I'm like, that is a difference when you really know. Yeah.
I mean, I know Denzel Washington. I know who Denzel Washington is. But I don't know Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying?
She don't go to his house.
There's a difference. We don't hang out. We don't spend time together. And one thing that I've also discovered that I love about God so much is not only is he able to do it, but he's willing. Like he wants us to have a good life. He wants us to have joy and peace, and so I think that's one of the things, just maturing into having a one-on-one. And it's so important to have that one-on-one, because I like when the Bible said, when your mother and father forsake you, at some point you're going to be disappointed by people. Every day.
You're going to be disappointed. And you have to know most definitely that God will never leave you. He will never forsake you. That's you know, he's long suffering. He loves you.
Yeah.
And I used to be that type when I do something wrong or something I know not pleasing him. I'd be like, oh my God, he's gonna get me. He gonna reap me. I'm gonna reap this. I'll be in trouble. And then sometimes he did not give me what I deserve.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
He never gives us what we actually deserve.
Sometimes he did, girl. Sometimes he let me get it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Jesus! Sometimes I got it. He said, "Now I'm sick of you. You just ain't gonna learn. So now I'm gonna let you have exactly." Now, sometimes he gave it to me, but sometimes he did give me some grace and some kindness. He's so long suffering.
He is.
Oh my God! And I love that he threw everything into the sea of forgiveness. And so I sit here today with a clean record.
I know that's right.
Today. Now I don't know about tomorrow, but today, in this moment,
one day at a time.
One day at a time. So, and you was talking about you have a son that's 30 years old. He's the only one you have.
Yeah.
How has parenting changed for you with him now from being young to now? How do you handle parenthood with him differently now?
You know, that has been one of the hardest shifts in my life.
Okay.
And I know a lot of parents, especially moms, experience this, but now I think there's a time in your child's life where you go from parenting to more of like a coaching.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah,
we ain't never gonna be friends,
right?
Like, you
like
know,
that.
I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe in that. But I remember when Chris was probably like high school age. I was like, you know what? There is nothing that I can tell this boy now that I have not already told him.
Okay.
You know, I've you know, told him so many, you know, do's and don'ts and, you know, tried to teach him the things that I thought were important, you know, values and everything that I felt like he should have. And I felt like, you know, at this age, he pretty much knows if he does something, it ain't that he don't know.
Right.
When your child is 4 or 5 and they, I don't know, put a toy in the toilet, you know, they didn't really know the consequences. They didn't know that they weren't supposed to do that.
Yeah.
But when your child is 15, 16, and they're, for instance, caught smoking weed, they can't say, oh, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that.
They know.
You know, they know.
They knew when they went and bought it.
Right. So I'm saying that to say that at some point, like the teaching and the parenting, it kind of takes a back seat to more of like a coaching. Okay, like with the coach, they teach you the plays and practice, but when it's game time, they shouldn't be trying to teach you. You should be applying it now. They're coaching you and maybe how to navigate and how to do it. So I think now having an adult child is so hard because when they're out of your sight, you know, he's living on his own and doing his own thing, but you start to get this desire again to want to parent them. And so now when I have conversations with them, I listen to what he's saying, like what he's dealing with, and I try not to start barking orders or you need to do this or you need, or I told you should. I really try not to do that. I really try not to do that.
Yeah.
So if he calls me and he starts telling me, like he had a situation a couple of months ago, and I was so proud of him. Because he called me and was like, well, Mama, got to tell you something. He was like, you know, my job let me go last week. He had gone like a whole week and hadn't said anything. He was like, but I got some money saved up. I got one more check coming. I got an interview today, blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
he was like,
business.
I don't need anything. He's like, I'm just letting you know.
Yes,
but
I love it.
I don't need anything. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, no, I'm good. I'm just letting you know what's going on. And he started talking about something else, and I was in my head. I was like, "We need to go back to this.
Let's finish this conversation." So how you go? Why are you good?
Because I wanted to keep asking questions, but I said, you know what? He said he's good. I'm gonna trust that he's good. I need to let it go.
Yeah.
So he got another job. You know, like within a week, you know, he was hustling. He was not hustling,
right?
He was helping people move and doing other stuff to make money legally.
Yes.
And so he was good, and I was like, that was such a proud
you should
moment.
Be proud.
But girl, when I tell you, I wanted to start. Okay, you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to file for unemployment, and you need to blah. I mean, it was so many things I wanted to say.
Right.
So I think parenting adult children we have to start talking to them, not like a friend. I don't mean like that, but like we do our friends. Like when your friends call and tell you something, you don't start trying to tell them what to do.
Yeah, you ask them.
You wait for them to ask for your advice. Because if you have that kind of interaction with your kids, they are going to ask you for advice when they feel like they need it.
They are.
So I think that's one of the things is to try to remember to wait until they ask you for the advice before you start giving it to them. Because really, if you start giving them advice before they ask, just like us,
they're going to shut down.
Yeah, they're going to shut down. I mean, we're adults. They're adults. So, sometimes you just have to be quiet.
Right.
And wait for them to ask. Yeah.
So how have you changed from being a mom to an empty nester? Because like you said, it affects us also.
It does.
Yes, we have to deal with them different. But then now I don't have to worry about if you get from school. I don't have to worry about what you eat. I don't have to worry about if you got gas in your car. Yeah. So how did you embrace now? I'm Bridget. I'm just Bridget, not mommy Bridget like that.
Yeah, that was another tough transition.
Yeah,
that was a hard transition. But I think that's when you have to spend a little bit more time with yourself.
Right.
You have to really start doing things that you like to do, figuring out what you like to do. Because sometimes we get to that stage when our children are grown and we spent so many days going to practices and parent-teacher conferences and worrying about our kids that we don't know what we want. So I think that's when you start, exploring different, do I want to read? Do I want to take a class? Do I want to go back to school? And start taking that. It's a freedom in it, we mourn that stage being over and we miss it, but it's an open door also. One door closes, another door opens. So instead of focusing on the door that's closed behind you, look at the door that's open in front of you and say, what do I want to do now? Where do I see my life going from here? Now for me, I'm a nurturer, so it was always a little hard for me. So I did end up getting a dog. That's when I got Joey. And that was during the pandemic. I know. That was during the pandemic. And see, for me, it was a weird shift turning 50 because this is what happened with me. In 2019, that's when I turned 50.
Okay.
It was November of 2019. So as you all know, a few months later, we were in a pandemic, in a global pandemic.
Yes,
the whole world shut down. So I'm going through this, I'm turning 50, menopause was starting to kick in, which I didn't know what it was at the time. Everything is shut down. Everybody's in the house. I'm an extrovert. I literally cried the day my job, we had a Zoom meeting. They announced that, we were staying at home.
And
I cried. Sure. They had told us to take our laptops home just in case, but I think they kind of knew where they were going with it. So when we had that meeting and they were like, we're staying at home, this is the situation. I got off the meeting and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trapped in this house. I'm stuck. And see, you have to realize a lot of people during the pandemic, they were married or they had kids at home or whatever. I was completely by myself.
Oh, okay.
I was completely by myself.
I was living with my parents at the time.
See, so I didn't have anybody around me, so I was going stir crazy.
Okay, I can see that.
I was going stir crazy. So that's when I got Joey.
She still got Joey.
I still got Joey. That's my ride or die. My ride or die. So I went through starting menopause, not really understanding what that was about. We're in the middle of a pandemic. I was single, which I didn't have an issue at that time with being single. Okay. It was just that I just didn't have anybody around me.
Any personal activity.
Yeah. So it was kind of a tough transition for me. And then Chris was in Murfreesboro at the time. So it's not like I could just, see him on a regular basis. So it was tough. It was tough.
Hey Erica. Hey girl, praise the Lord.
Hey Erica.
Okay, so how do you keep your energy, your confidence, your self-esteem going through these changes? Because I got some stuff on that myself. Yeah.
I think first of all, you have to stay prayerful because God will direct you to change your eating habits or change your activities, or he'll show you things. When you have a relationship with God, he will show you things that you wouldn't see otherwise. And so I think self-awareness, I've always said self-awareness is one of the biggest gifts we can give ourselves.
Yes.
And since being self-aware involves having conversations with God, because when you want to know how something works or why something's not working, you go to the manufacturer. So that's the first thing. Self-awareness. You have to understand who you are, what makes you tick, what you like, what you don't like. Because that's what builds that confidence. That's what helps you feel good about who you are and where you are. We all go through different stages, and every stage of life has good things about it and it's got bad things about it. So I think you just have to be self-aware and know, like, am I the type of person that like I said, I'm an extrovert. So do I need to be around people, or I'm an introvert and I need to be able to have time to myself to refuel and re-energize. And you need to know who you are. And I feel like by the time we're in our 40s, we really should know that. We should know what makes us tick, what turns us off, what turns us on, what makes us happy, what makes us sad. Where do we get our joy? Where do we get our juice from? Where's that coming from? We've got to take time. One of the things that we have to learn, especially as women, especially as our kids get older, we have to study ourselves like we study other people. Like you can sit around and say, oh, I know so-and-so, I know their habits, I know how they think, but do you know it about yourself? Sometimes I think we spend so much time wondering about the external things,
making sure everybody else good.
Exactly.
And we're not applying that to ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I was thinking about one thing when I said about the energy, the confidence, the self-esteem, those changes. One thing I had to learn to do was change my goals. Because, getting older, I'll be honest, social media can most definitely be good and bad.
Yeah.
But getting older for me, sometimes when I was seeing some of the younger people and they working out, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to get down to this size. I want to do this. And then I'm like, Brandy, be realistic with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm doing good at, hey, Gary, thank you, girl. I'm doing good at showing up consistently, working out. So my goal went from 190, I was 198, and then I'm thinking, okay, I want to get down to this. So now I'm like, you know what? If I get to 180, let me get to 180 at 50, and I'm working out, and I'm toning, I'm good. I can't get on here and be 140.
Right, and look like an Instagram model.
Right, exactly. Looking like these girls in their 20s and their 30s, because they're going to be 50 one day too.
Exactly.
And so that was one thing I had to start really talking to myself, because I seen myself comparing.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I want to do that. And I remember back when I was younger, I could not eat for a day and lose 2 pounds.
Right. Right.
Now I don't eat for a day and I gain 2 pounds.
It's a whole different story.
I'm like, now how I eat less calories and gain weight.
And again, it's all the hormones.
And so now I'm learning, you know what, Brandy? You got to figure this all out.
Yeah.
You got to do what's best for this 50-year-old
exactly.
body. Then what you did, you can't do what you did then now. Because I promise you, I'll be like, okay, me and Stephanie going out of town. Okay, I'm not gonna eat for this, and I know.
And you drop 5 pounds,
girl, without exercising. I can just say I'm gonna do this, and then go out of town. I be looking skinny for them days. Come back as soon as I eat a burger, all the way come back. But now my body doesn't do that.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let that affect my self-esteem, my confidence. Now, sometimes I'm hosting something. Now I have to wear my glasses, my contacts.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't able to see further with my contacts. I told Inga the other day, I said that devil told me you gonna have glaucoma.
Oh no.
I said my eyesight just keeps getting worse. My eyesight. He was like, Brandy, who told you that? I said the devil. But I'm like, you know what? Now I can't try to be on stage, be cute with contacts, and I can't see what I'm reading, and I can't see the people. Now I'm wearing my glasses.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, you know what, Brandi, you have to be confident in who you are in the season that you're in now, and the blessing is getting older.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in the casket at 48 or 47 or 46. So you know what? Embrace this journey that you're on now. So that's where I'm at. It's just so many things that are changing, and I'm just like, oh my God, and I'm adjusting, but I don't want it to affect my self-esteem, my confidence, being sure of myself, because I'm getting older. So now I got to find a new sexy in the 50s.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
As we get older, we can't keep holding on to our 20-year-old and 30-year-old and 40-year-old self. Like you said, you really have to embrace like where you are now. We go through different stages and different seasons. It's like sitting around in December saying, oh, I'm gonna, go put on some shorts and go out and sit in the sun, and there's no sun out there.
And it's snowing.
Yeah, and it's snowing. So it's like, you gotta, like you said, I think the biggest thing is being realistic, and comparison is definitely a thief of joy anyway.
It
if you're gonna, and my thing is, if you want to admire someone or you want to see, how they did it, don't look at somebody that's 20 or 30 years younger than you.
Come on.
Look at somebody that's going through menopause or that's in their 40s. And say, okay, what helped them? But the key is you have to figure out what works for you. With all of that, what works for you.
Yeah. So if you could go back and tell your younger self one thing about aging, what would it be?
That it's a blessing.
Yeah.
That it's a blessing. And that, again, I think, like, if I had to give my younger self advice, it would be like, start working on, better eating habits and better, physical activity and stuff like
Financial.
that. And, yes. Yes.
Financial for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I would tell myself to start forming those habits earlier.
Young,
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I'm embracing where I'm at now, and I want to move forward. I don't want to keep looking back. I want to say, okay, this is where I'm at now. So, what can I do with this, 55-year-old self?
Now this don't have anything to do with 55, but I like what you said. How do you stop looking back? Because I deal with that. With looking back at some successes, some failures. I can dwell on that, like, if I had done this, or maybe I shouldn't have done that. I say, I know it ain't got to do with after 50, but I'm saying, what would you say about that?
I think one of the things about that is, I think there's a difference between looking back and learning and, thinking about things, because I think we all do that. I think when we stay there, I think is where we mess up. So sometimes it's like, I think sometimes self-talk is really important. And if you know that that's something that you deal with, you have to come up with an affirmation or a prayer or something that will jerk you out of that. Okay. And find something that works for you. And I think for me, and everybody's different, but for me, I think being grateful for where you are now. And so when I do start to think about things that, that I regret or I wish I would have done different.
I think sometimes it's the regret.
I think I have to remind myself, just be thankful for where you are now.
Yeah. And I think my therapist, one time my therapist, she told me, she was like, well, Brandi, you did what you did at that time because that's all the knowledge you had at that time. Right. So now the 50-year-old Brandi is not going to respond like the 30-year-old Brandi. And sometimes I can carry that weight on me because now I'm like, oh my God, if I did have the chance with this now, I would do different. But I have to remember, you did that at 30.
Right, exactly.
Now you're 50 and now you done lived and you done seen the growth and different things. So that's something that I'm struggling with in this season right now. Like, you know what? I can't look at past things with the regret. Like, oh my God, now I would do this. because that's what I would do now.
Right. But you know what the good thing, you know what the blessing and regret is? That shows that you've had a change in your mindset.
Okay.
Because if you look back at that experience and you say, yeah, I did the right thing. I wish I could do that again. Then, okay.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Right.
But sometimes the regret that you feel means that you've matured. That means, so hold on to that.
Okay.
The fact that you do regret it. There's a blessing in that.
I thought she's a life coach. Erica said you got 14 grandkids and you working on your change of wardrobe this season. Yeah, I'm having to change. I'm having to change because, honey, tennis shoes is my life now. I look online for a tennis shoe.
Yeah.
I look online for a flat.
And I used to would not wear tennis shoes.
Oh, my
I was like,
God.
oh, that's so masculine.
Yeah.
Tennis shoes. Women don't wear tennis shoes.
I would own like 3 pair of tennis shoes to 40 pair of heels. And now it's totally opposite.
Exactly.
It's totally opposite. So, Erica, I'm with you on that, girl, honey. I'm changing my wardrobe, too. And I need to change it a little bit more, too, because sometimes I be a little too comfortable.
I don't think there's any such thing as too comfortable.
Sometimes, girl, I look in my closet, I don't have, like, a cute casual, because everything is, like, workout, little cute stuff. It's casual.
Yeah.
So I need to buy me some more jeans and some little, what they call them, little heels.
The kitten heels?
The kitten. Ingrid hates the kitten heels.
I do too. I've always hated those.
She hates the kitten. She hates them kitten heels.
Those. I'm sorry for anybody.
She said, okay, Solomon said, what do you all think about people who want to completely forget their past?
Solomon.
Okay, so what do you think about people who want to completely forget their past selves and mistakes and start a new leaf? Isn't the past just as valuable?
Well, okay, the past is valuable because experience is a great teacher.
It is.
But it's just like saying, oh, I really enjoyed kindergarten. I'm just going to stay there for 12 years.
Yeah, you
no,
can't say that.
I learned stuff in kindergarten and I move on to first grade. I learned stuff in first grade. I move on to second grade. So I think it's good to, when you get ready to turn over a new leaf, I think you want to look at the lessons that you've learned that have prompted you to want to do something different. But I think sometimes we get stuck there. We have to be able to move past that and do the different thing.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be able to keep moving, because if not, we just stay stuck. I'm dealing with someone now that is just stuck, and they're having a hard time moving past things that have happened before. And I think one of the reasons this person is stuck is because they did not deal with what needed to be dealt with so that they could move on.
Yeah.
It's just like one of the things I think we have to realize about our mental health is it's very similar to our physical health. If I get a cut or a sore, and if I don't treat it, it's not going to heal properly.
Right.
And when it heals, it's going to leave scars. It's going to leave ugly scars. But if I have that same cut and I'm putting the Neosporin on it and I'm putting the Band-Aids on it and the skin is healing and there may be a scar there, but it's not going to be anything like what's going to be there if we just don't treat it.
Okay.
So I think it's good to say, because I've kind of said that recently. I'm like, I kind of want to reinvent myself in my 50s. I want to, I really want to value things that maybe I didn't value before, and maybe put less value on things that I put too much value on. So sometimes we do decide to turn over a new leaf or reinvent ourselves. But I think what we have to do is we have to take the past and we have to look at it for what it is. It's the past. It's lessons learned, and it's things that helped us to grow. But then how do I take that? How do I take those lessons and those experiences, and how do I allow those to be the fertilizer that the good things grow from? It's one thing to have a pile of fertilizer. It's just a pile of crap. That's what fertilizer is. But if you put some seeds in that, if you plant some good things in that, then some beautiful things are going to come out of it. And so there's nothing wrong with knowing I've had this kind of past and I went through these kind of things. But now what's going to come from that? What do you want to do with those things? Sometimes it also is to bless other people too.
It is. And I like when he said, isn't the past just as valuable? It is. And I was listening to a preacher a while back, and he said, we all have wounds, but it's different when they're healed wounds.
Exactly.
When you have healed wounds, it didn't mean the wound didn't happen, but once you really heal from it, you can talk about it and it don't affect you like it used to. When you first go through the voice, you might talk,
Oh yeah.
But now I'm strong, so I talk to other people going through, like, honey, that's the part of divorce.
Right.
You got to do this. You got to do that. You can't give up. You got to trust God through this process. And I promise you, a couple years from now, you're going to be helping somebody. I went through it. It's wounds, it's scars and all that. But I'm healed from it now. And I learned, like you said, the things that I learned in it, what to focus more on and what less to focus on. So that was a very good question, Solomon. Yeah. Is that one of your friends?
No, Solomon, that's Harold's son.
Oh, hi, Solomon. I don't know Solomon. I'm your auntie, Brandy Solomon. I'm your auntie, Pumpkin. Okay, what is one guilty pleasure you didn't expect after 50?
Taking a nap. Oh my gosh.
I'm taking one as soon as you leave.
Girl.
I got another appointment at 2 and I'm taking a nap.
Girl. You know what? It's so funny because when you're a child and somebody tells you to take a nap, you cry, you kick and scream. Girl, now I cry if I can't take a nap. I cry.
He got another question. We're going to get to that solid. But girl, that I factor in my naps on what I'm going. It's like next weekend, I got a crazy weekend coming up. I got something to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm thinking, okay, so when I do this Friday, then I'm gonna have enough. I can take 2 naps. I could take a 2-hour nap before I start getting ready for this. Then Saturday I gotta do the show, and then I gotta drive here. Then Sunday we do. I factor in.
You do. I'm telling you.
Naps. I tell people, and I'll cut my ringer off.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell my kids be like, Mama. I said, no, you know, when I get through,
it's not a nap if your phone starts ringing.
When I get through with the lab, I cut my ringer off and I take me a power nap. Yeah. I asked the lady for my nail appointment. What time can I come after this time? I need a nap. Yeah. When we finish, I'm gonna as soon as she leave, I'm taking me a nap.
That's my guilty pleasure.
Oh my God, I love that. Okay, Solomon said, last question. No, you're good. If your partner is in my beginning stage of growth, let's see. If I have a partner in my beginning stage of growth, how do I know how to assure them they can be a part of the evolution? And when do I know when to cut my losses because they aren't willing? Ooh, wow.
You know what?
Don't listen to me. Let her answer that one.
I love that. That's a good
Auntie
question.
Brandy ain't patient. I let her answer that.
Okay, so this is the key. And actually, this is so funny because this is the situation that happened with Chris and his girlfriend. Okay. They were 5 years apart, and he was just going through a stage in his life where he was starting to think more about
the future,
money, the future. So this is the key, Solomon. It's a person's willingness. It's a person's willingness and their effort. Because I remember before when we were both single, I used to be like, you know, these men just don't realize how important effort is. Like if I see you're really trying, and you may not be there yet, but I see you're genuinely making an effort, not just lip service, but really making a genuine effort to evolve, then I can appreciate that. And I can be patient with that. And I may not be patient for like 10 years.
Yes, she will. She will. I will. But I was going to say also make sure you're really seeing it, because a lot of times we see what we want to see.
Exactly.
Because we know you can be an amazing man if you do this, this, and this.
So you start seeing stuff that's not really there. So you start
living off of an illusion. So you really have to see what that person, and Bridget's better at seeing that than me. Auntie Brandy I will cut you off. But I'm working on that. Quickly. But I'm working on that. So Bridget, you talk to that baby, honey.
I think especially for young people, I remember, and I won't say no names, but I remember talking to a young man, this is a long time ago, and he was telling me about this situation with his girlfriend. I said, but you know what the blessing about it is you're young. So this person is probably going to go through a whole lot of evolving and change, and she has. And when I see her now, it's just amazing. Yeah. But I would say if you care about a person, you know, love is, you know, long suffering. It is. And when you love someone, you know, just like God loves us, he's so gracious and so patient with us when we do the stupidest.
Yeah, oh my God.
We won't even talk about that.
Oh my God. No.
But so I think if the first thing that you have to evaluate is your feelings for the person. Because one thing I always tell people, you can't control other people's feelings, thoughts, actions, but we do have control over ours.
Yeah.
So the first thing you have to ask yourself is, do I love this person enough to stand by them through this journey?
It's a journey.
And then the second thing is, because the first part, you always have to start with you. Always start with you. So if you figure out, yes, I do love this person enough to hang in there with them, then you look at the other person. You say, okay, now is this person making a genuine effort to evolve and to come on this journey with me? And I hate to say it like this, but to come up to my level or come to my level. I won't say come up, because I'll say come to my level in these areas that are important to me. Because one thing I will say is never, ever, ever feel bad about valuing the things that you value.
Don't.
If something is important to you, I don't care what it is.
If it's opening a car, don't.
Exactly.
A door,
if it's
don't.
important to you, it's important to you for a reason, and hang on to that.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, I don't care about that, when you know that you do.
You really do.
So that's what I would say, Solomon. First of all, evaluate your feelings. Do I feel enough for this person to be patient? And then if you say the answer to that is yes, then you start looking at what the other person is doing, and are they making a genuine effort to evolve and to make the changes or the adjustments that you need them to make. And
not all talk.
Right.
It's got to be actions. And do whatever steps it is to take. But when it's time to walk, walk. Because I'm like, you know what? In my 20s, I was in a bad relationship. In my 30s, I was in a bad relationship. In my 40s, I was in a bad relationship. I'm not doing that in my 50s. And it's because I was so busy worrying about how I felt was going to affect them in their life. Oh my God, if I break up with them, then they're not going to have this. They're not going to have that because of this. Because one thing we have to understand, we all come from two different backgrounds. Right. And so we're all going to have different perceptions. And so, I might be able to see, I'm a woman of vision. So I see, oh my God, if you get your life with God right and you do this, you work, you already work, you got good credit, you got money, you can do this. But if that's not who they are, if that's not their character, then you stick around hoping. And what the Bible says, hope deferred makes the heart sick.
And it will make you sick.
It will make you sick when you put all this hoping that this person is going to change because it's what you desire, when God can have somebody out there that's already there. But like she said, be long-suffering, but not too long. Be true to yourself. And I'm learning now to do what's important for me early, so then I'm not caught up in how it's going to affect them. I'm not caught up. Well, I knew today was gonna be amazing. That's why I tell y'all she is a life and a coach. Y'all better get her in your life so she can coach you. So, Brigette, tell the people where they can follow you at, how they can contact you for your services. If you got anything you got going on that we can support.
Yes. So the name of my service is Chrysalis Coaching and Counseling, because Chrysalis, as most people know, is the transformation that butterflies go through. And so I've always loved that whole process, because I feel like that's what we as people go through. So you can reach me on Facebook right now, just under my name, Brigette Brandon, on Facebook, and on Instagram also. You can call me. Phone number is 629-308-9308. I do virtual for the most part now. Eventually, I am going to start back doing in-person counseling. But one of the things that I am about to launch in October,
come on, tell me about it,
it's called The Golden Life. And it's focused mostly on women, because that's my passion. 30s, 40s, and 50s. Just talking about navigating the different things that we go through in life. And we're going to talk about everything from health to wealth to relationships,
sex,
all of that.
Bridget talked about
all
sex.
Of that.
Yeah.
I do talk about sex.
I did too. I talked
Brandy's
to
always asking me about sex, so that's why.
I be like, girl, now, girl. And she said, well, I ain't never experienced like, girl. So yeah, she covers all aspects. All aspects.
Gonna cover it all. So yes,
well,
I'm looking forward to that.
I have enjoyed you thoroughly. This was so fun. We're gonna have to have Coach Brigette back next month. Y'all know it's first Saturday. Sit down with my sister Inger, and we are covering walking in wisdom. Oh my God, Solomon. Wow. When you go through, you get wisdom from things you walking in. So I hope you tune in next Saturday.
Wasn't Solomon the wisest man in the Bible? Was it Solomon?
I know Solomon in the Bible.
Yeah.
Don't give me the line. Solomon, I mean, you're a wise man.
Yes,
you're a wise man. Yes, you're a wise man. So you all, thank you so much for tuning in. Just see Kelly said, I love the Me Time events. Yes. I know, girl. I've been on her. She done switched the name.
We may start back doing that again, Kelly.
I've been telling her we need to have the Me Time.
It too. I miss it too.
We used to really, really enjoy the Me Time. Yes. So you all, thanks so much. Don't forget to like and share. The more you like, the more you share, the more it gets out in the algorithm, and more people are able to see what it is these Black women have to share with you all with these lots, honey. We on our journeys, honey. Not just with our spiritual and financial, but with our hair.
All of it.
We on a journey with everything. So I tell you every week before we get out of here, I love you, but what's most important, God loves us all, and that's what matters. So don't forget to like and share. And thank you for all your comments when I get up from my nap. When I go get my feet done and my nails done, I'll sit back and I'll reply to you all's comments. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You got anything else to say?
No, I just thank everybody for supporting Brandy and everything that she's doing. She is awesome.
Oh, you're more awesome. All right, y'all. Till next Saturday, walk in wisdom this week. Don't let nobody get you out of character, because we're going to walk in wisdom. All right. Till next week. Peace.